The Three Mile Island nuclear reactor accident occurred March 27th, 1979 at 4 a.m. in Dauphin County, Pennsylvania. The nuclear power plant is a cooling manufactured caused by a part of the core to melt. The reactor was operating 97% power for the secondary cooling circuit to malfunction. The reactor was completely destroyed. The radioactive gas was released a couple of days after the accident, but not enough to cause any dose of the background levels to local residents. Explained on the World Nuclear website, they said, responding to the loss of cooling water high pressure, injection pumps automatically pushed replacement water into the reactor system. Operations responded to the reaction by reducing the flow of replacement water. Around 6:20 a.m., they finally closed a block valve between a relief valve of the 3 Mile Island nuclear reaction. This action stopped the loss of coolant water through the valve. Through the day, operators attempt to force more water into the reactor system. They also added emergency water supplies into the system. On March 28th, they restored to force cooling of the reactor core to the pump. Finally, March 25th, 1999, the 3 Mile Islander nuclear reaction ended.
In 1979, the 3 Mile Island accident of the nuclear power plant had a explosion due to equipment failure. One of the tanks had erupted because of the nuclear waste that was in the tank had got too heated, and it started to expand. When it started to expand is when the metal tank could no longer hold all the pressure that was being built up in it, and the water system was supposed to be cooling it, but there was a valve that was open to cool the tanks down, and with that valve being open, there was no water getting anywhere except in and out. If this would have been avoided, if they would have known that valve was open, this would have never happened. I have read on there was not that much radiation that was passed on the outside of the plant. On the inside, there was quite a bit of radiation going on. I believe it could have been avoided if the nuclear plant had a better equipment system and they checked it recently.
The 3 Mile Island accident proves that group communication needs to be understood by everybody. Everybody needs to be on the same page. Everybody needs to be trained correctly. It was obvious that the employees weren't prepared for a situation like this. And they weren't equipped to be prepared for a situation like this, obviously. What had happened is a light in their control room actually showed that the pressure was too high, which means that there's a lot of water. But in reality, there actually wasn't a lot of water. So in turn, the employees did the wrong thing by taking out too much water and it overheated. In doing this, they could have easily prevented this actually, if they were trained correctly. Which ties to the good part about group communication. If they were actually trained correctly, then everything would have been fixed. That being said, the safety procedures were obviously not up to par. They obviously weren't prepared for something like this. And overall, the emergency systems just need to be improved and just overall just need to be better. In turn, the only good part that came out of this is that the power plant realized that their employees need to be prepared better. which in turn will actually help out with the communication for the future.